Two very popular destinations for expats and digital nomads would be Chiang Mai in northern Thailand and then Da Nang in central Vietnam. And while I absolutely love both of these cities, they are incredibly different. In today's video, I'll be breaking down some of the pros and cons from my perspective of living in either of them, which hopefully will help you in deciding which one is best for you. Chiang Mai is the largest city in northern Thailand. It's very popular among travelers and is often considered to be the digital nomad hotspot of the world. If you are just starting out on your digital nomad journey, I really hate that term. If you work remotely, and this is your first time trying it from somewhere other than your home country, I would say that Chiang Mai should be top of your list. There's a large expat community to connect with and nightly events to meet other foreigners living in the city, from stand-up comedy to live music to weekly sessions on cryptocurrency and Amazon FBA and anything else related to building a business online. Wi-Fi is excellent, there are a ton of co-working spaces, and then there's also this really great cafe scene. So many of the cafes, when you walk into them, you'll see a ton of other expats just working on their laptops. They're essentially like co-working spaces, but it's very normal to camp out in a cafe for a few hours in the afternoon and get some work done. Chiang Mai is a place where you can essentially show up and have absolutely everything you could possibly need or want to be productive, make a lot of new friends, and have a lot of fun all at the same time. Da Nang is an up-and-coming tourist destination, and it's a coastal city that is located right between Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi in Vietnam. Da Nang has a much smaller expat community, and it certainly isn't nearly as catered to digital nomadism as Chiang Mai is. There are a few co-working spaces, some of the cafes are suitable for working on a laptop, and then there are weekly events and meetups for expats, but the majority of foreigners that are living in the city long-term are teaching English. There's definitely more of a vacation vibe in Da Nang than in Chiang Mai, as the beach is lined with these beautiful big resorts. When it comes to things to do, Chiang Mai gives you options, lots of options. The last time I was in Chiang Mai was for a big international event called Nomad Summit. I was there for a month, and in that month, day-to-day life looked like going from a cool cafe to the gym, browsing the markets, and then usually meeting up with a group of people for some kind of event in the evening. In the city, I went to a bunch of different cafes, from the dog cafe to the hedgehog cafe, a trampoline park, the movie theater, massage, an optical illusion museum, the shopping mall, temple hopping, indoor ice skating. There is honestly so much to do and so much to explore. And then if you want to get out of the city, you also have a ton of options, from hiking in the mountains to elephant sanctuaries, climbing the sticky waterfalls. It honestly doesn't matter what it is that you like to do. There's a lot to do and a heck of a lot going on all the time. Day-to-day life in Da Nang is pretty similar if I'm working, because I'll just find a nice cafe and spend most of the day working there. I did mention that there are fewer workable cafes in Da Nang, but there are definitely a few winners, and I just kind of find the ones I like and go back to the same places. Outside of work, my life definitely centers around the beach. I'd go to the beach probably every single day for long walks while on the phone, listening to podcasts, or even with a friend. It's so clean, it's wide, you can walk for hours, the water is warm, the waves are gentle, there's no like seaweed and jellyfish to creep you out. You can also just put your beach towel down and do some yoga or some reading. Going to the beach on a daily basis and then getting massages several times a week are probably my favorite things to do in Da Nang. Outside of the main area, I hiked Marble Mountain, went to an awesome amusement park that was completely empty, went to the shopping malls, the local markets, visited the nearby city of Hoi An for their monthly lantern festival, had clothing tailor-made, watched the bridge breathe fire, motorbiked the famous Hai Van Pass, and then also you can visit the Golden Bridge. I know, you're probably wondering, what does this all cost? For $1,000 a month, you can have a very good quality of life in both Chiang Mai and Da Nang. Overall, if you want to live a local life, not a westernized life, I feel like you can do that cheaper in Da Nang than you can in Chiang Mai. However, if you are looking for things like a state-of-the-art gym, international cuisine, co-working spaces, and an expat scene, living that type of westernized lifestyle is going to be cheaper for you in Chiang Mai. I did a full cost of living breakdown for Da Nang a few weeks ago, and honestly, my costs are quite similar in Chiang Mai. The things that start riding up the money more in Chiang Mai would be doing the extra things like going to the elephant sanctuary or the cafes that are a specialty like the Hedgehog Cafe. To be honest, I wouldn't factor in price as being a deciding factor here at all. You can do very well in both cities for very inexpensive prices. What I would factor in deciding between the two of them is weather. It really varies depending on the time of year that you're planning your trip. If it's going to be between September and December, definitely consider Chiang Mai. This is the best time of year to be there as the temperatures are a little bit cooler and you're basically going to have full sunny days every day. On the contrary, in Da Nang, this is the rainy season, so it's a little bit cold, and when I say cold, more around 20 degrees, and then raining every day, most days. On the flip side, mid-February to mid-May is the hottest time of year in Chiang Mai. It is also burning season, which is when the Thai farmers are going to be burning their fields. And with Chiang Mai being in a valley, all of that smoke just kind of hovers and ends up covering the city. Some people will say it's not that bad. I personally found it absolutely unbearable to stay, and I would say anyone that is living there and has the option to leave should leave. My eyes were burning, I had black all under my fingernails, it's hard to breathe. All the mountains around the city disappear and it's just covered with smoke. It is not a pleasant time of year to be there, and then again, mixed in with the incredibly hot temperatures, it's not pleasant to be outside at all. It's the same time of year, around February, when Da Nang starts going into more of their summer season, so it gets hotter and warmer, and while it does end up being their hottest time of year, it is my favorite time of year, between February and probably June, because there is this beautiful, nice breeze all the time. It honestly never feels as hot as I feel in Chiang Mai, and then you also have the ocean. Overall, weather-wise, I prefer Da Nang. The next category is accommodation, which I'm not going to spend too much time on as I do have full videos on both the apartment hunting experience in Da Nang and in Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai definitely has more apartment buildings and larger apartment buildings than Da Nang. Overall, it's easier to find a place and settle in with the landlord speaking English, the buildings actually having names, and then there's generally little paperwork involved. It's very easy to just show up in the nomad area and walk door to all of the different apartment buildings, go into the front desk, which is almost always staffed, and be able to ask for same-day move-in. Finding a place to live in Da Nang is also relatively easy because the supply of apartment rooms far exceeds the demand. It's just a little bit trickier because many of the apartment buildings are smaller and then they're family owned. So they'll be advertised on sites like Facebook, and then they're not often staffed all day. So if you were just walking around the city, you would usually need to have some sort of booking to make sure that you'd be able to see the rooms. Because if you just walked in, it would either be gated off or there would be no one at the reception desk. Usually they just don't have a reception desk. It's easier to find a nice place that is clean, where everything works, nothing is broken, the Wi-Fi is reliable in Chiang Mai than it is to find that place in Da Nang. But if you take the time to look, scroll the Facebook groups, look at dananglandlord.com, and then book a few different viewings before making your decision, I feel like you can find a better quality place at a cheaper price in Da Nang than you would in Chiang Mai. It's easy to get to both Chiang Mai and Da Nang as both of them have a major airport. However, the Da Nang airport is more internationally connected than the Chiang Mai airport is. When it comes to transportation, Chiang Mai is a clear winner. There are so many different options for you to get around the city. So many people will buy a motorbike or rent a motorbike for this period of time that they're there. But if you're not interested in doing that, which I personally don't, you can walk pretty much everywhere from the Nimon area and into the old city. There's a bus system, there's taxis, there's tuk-tuks for hire. There's also the Grab app that you can use on your phone to call a Grab taxi. And then, my favorite part of it, there are songtaos. Songtaos are basically these red trucks that drive around the city, and when you see one, if it's going in the direction that you're heading, you flag it down, let the driver know where it is that you are going, and if he nods, it means it's along his route. You then get in the back, and the Songtao driver, which somehow remembers where every single person in their Songtao is going, will go along their route and drop people off in the sequence of the destinations that they hit first. So when it gets to your destination, you simply get out and you hand the driver the equivalent of 30 or 40 baht, so around $1. There are definitely not as many options for getting around the city of Da Nang as there are for getting around Chiang Mai. I'll pretty much walk everywhere because if you are staying in the central Mai An area, you will be within walking distance of the restaurants, the markets, the grocery stores, the convenience stores, and of course, the beach. If I'm going somewhere further out, like maybe to Marble Mountains or to the city side to explore there, I will book a Grab, either a motorbike or a Grab taxi. I believe the rates are even cheaper than booking a Grab in Thailand. There is also a bus system. I don't see it running around the city all that often, but I have taken it to get to the nearby ancient town of Hoi An several times. When it comes to safety, I would say that both cities are incredibly safe, and I would feel comfortable walking around either of them alone at night, which is not something I can say for most Canadian cities. In Chiang Mai, my biggest concern would be the mosquitoes. Because Chiang Mai is in a valley, they all just tend to hang out there, which can be an issue for catching something like dengue fever. And then in Da Nang, I would say petty crime as well as drunk driving. In both cities, I would also be on the lookout for stray cats, dogs, or monkeys. As for food, there is a clear winner here. I would say the biggest complaint that I hear from anyone that has gone from Chiang Mai to Da Nang is that they're very disappointed with the food scene in Da Nang. This is because Chiang Mai's food scene is absolutely out of this world. It's inexpensive and you can find anything from the authentic local Thai food to amazing Indian food to burgers to pizza, all of it, and it's all at a very reasonable price. There's also a phenomenal street food scene, so you walk out your door and can grab a smoothie and a kebab or a roast fish. There's just vendors that are lining the streets and the food is delicious and inexpensive. Local beer and alcohol is also very inexpensive, but there is no local wine, so getting a glass of wine tends to be on the pricier side. They also have water refill stations, which is something I would love to see in Da Nang. The Vietnamese food in Da Nang is delicious and very cheap, cheaper than getting Thai food in Thailand. But while there are Western options for burgers and pizza, as well as all international cuisines in the Mai An area, the cost jump when you go from local Vietnamese food to international cuisine is significant. There is also not a street food scene like in the majority of Thailand, so if you do want to eat out somewhere, you have to go to a restaurant and either sit down and order there or order takeout. If you shop the local markets and you enjoy Vietnamese food, you will be very happy and so will your wallet. If you're still not sure if you should head to Chiang Mai or Da Nang, there are a few ways to make the decision a little bit easier. The first one would be the time of year that you're planning to go. As I mentioned, if it is between February and May, do not go to Chiang Mai. Go to Da Nang, it makes the decision easy. Another thing to consider from a practical standpoint when making the decision would be to look at the visa options. They are changing. It used to be considered easier to spend a longer period of time in Da Nang and in Vietnam in general than in Thailand. However, visa laws are changing, and with the latest updates, this may no longer be the case, so I recommend you look at the government websites and do your own research. In making your decision, know that I would say probably 3 out of 4 people I meet that are living the digital nomad lifestyle would say that they prefer Chiang Mai over Da Nang, and that Da Nang can be kind of boring. I'm not arguing this. Otherwise, all things considered equal, if you haven't traveled a lot and this is your first time going off as a digital nomad or working remotely while you're traveling, I would say, hands down, go to Chiang Mai. This was the first place that I went, and I can't imagine doing this any other way. You will meet so many people. There will be so many things to do, so many events, so many activities. It's conducive to helping you stay productive as well as having a lot of fun, and honestly, you'll love it. You'll also feel incredibly welcomed. So even when I look at this list, I'm like, yeah, Chiang Mai sounds way better. And I love Chiang Mai, but still I will find myself going back to Da Nang year after year and just loving the lifestyle. And again, it really comes down to living on the ocean. That's just something that makes me so happy. I don't even know how to explain it. There you have it. That's an overview of living in Chiang Mai or living in Da Nang as an expat from my perspective. The beautiful thing is that they are both very close to each other and there is a direct flight, so you have no excuse not to check them both out. Let us know down in the comments which one you would be more interested in going to. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to catch you back here for another video again next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.